was always interested in dilemmas. I wrote a book called Maps of the Mind as early as 1981, and that went through the history of psychology and basically treated all the theorists as looking at dilemmas. Freud looked at the superego and the id, and Jung looked at the collective unconscious and the libido. So they all had these different constructs in the mind, but they were all dilemmas between sort of realism and idealism. Mm-hmm. And Fons worked for Shell. He worked for the Amsterdam laboratory. So when I was in Shell, I met Fons. Mm-hmm. He was getting his PhD degree from Wharton School, and he said, would I read his thesis? I read his thesis and I said, well, I don't want to write a book about lots of differences. I want to reconcile the differences. And the more I thought about his 7 dimensions, which he invented, I didn't, the more I saw them were reconcilable. So he's the one who creates all the differences, and I'm the one who puts them all together. I put them together in a kind of yin-yang Korean flag type of pattern. So I see opposites as really reconcilable. You have to have a model that transcends conflict. Let's look at the ridiculous things we quarrel about. We quarrel about whether you should be an individualist or whether you should be a communitarian. But suppose an individualist was enormously successful. Suppose he fulfilled himself. Suppose he became famous. What is being famous? Being famous is being applauded by a community. So in the end, the individualist dreams of being loved and applauded and valued by the community. Also, if you look at American millionaires, they spend half their life grabbing money and half their life giving it away. So Rockefeller, Carnegie, and the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, he's now retired from Microsoft, spends all his time giving the money away. So, cooperating better with other people so that they become more independent. So the whole notion of individualism and communitarianism, the whole notion of competition being good and cooperation being communist is ridiculous. It is a misconception. You compete in order to cooperate. We compete in this room, and if one of us has the best solution, the other two get behind the best solution. So we compete to see who has the best idea, and then we cooperate around the best idea, and it goes on like that. Companies compete, but within the company, people are expected to cooperate. So you can't have a competition without cooperation.